Welcome back. It is Monday, November 25th in the NBA. My 5 best bets are on the way. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's hopefully start the week with a 5-0 sweep. If you are new, my name's Austin. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we recap how we did the day before betting the NBA. It was a 1-1 day. Keegan Murray came through. Shout out to him. Jason Tatum hooked us. He had 26. He really should have hit. But either way, I digress. We're on a 10-3 NBA run. Let's turn that into 15-3 today. If you are new, like I said, my name's Austin. Do me a favor, go down below, like and subscribe. It is the beginning of Thanksgiving week. So if you have some family in town, hopefully they're okay with you guys sweating out some bets. And if not, just don't tell them you have any money on the game. They don't need to know. But either way, appreciate you guys for tuning in. There was a Monday Night Football video live on the channel for Ravens and Chargers. Posted it last night. Only one pick over there, but I encourage you to check it out. We haven't had the best NFL week, but hopefully we can finish it with a 1-0 day and move on. I'll talk about the ladder challenge at the end of this video, so if you stay tuned for that, where my mind is at, and I'll talk about another player prop maybe that I liked as well. But let's dive in the picks today. If you ever need any sportsbook sign-up bonuses, use those down below. Underdog Fantasy does a free square right now for Justin Herbert. So if you want to sign up using my code COS, you'll get that free square and a match on your first deposit up to $1,000. But I digress. Let's dive in the picks. The first one will begin with a guy that treated us nice yesterday. And it's not Jason Tatum. It is Keegan Murray. I'm back on his over in points at 12.5, minus 125 on DraftKings. I just think this line's too low. As I said yesterday, I really felt like it should have been 14.5. I really feel like that's where, again, should be here today, especially in a good matchup against the Thunder. I'm not going to back Keegan Murray every single day. Although if he gets hot, sure, maybe we ride the Keegan Murray train. But again, I think this line's a little bit too low based on what I expect from Keegan Murray and what the Kings expect. Now, so far this season, Keegan averaging 13 per game. He scored 21 last night on 14 shots, 8 free throw attempts. Did only go 1 for 5 from 3, so that's not ideal, but he was attacking the hoop, which is what we love to see. And last year, as I said yesterday, he averaged 17.5 points per game at home. So he was really good at a role player at home. That's not a surprise. Role players typically play better there. Wasn't as great on the road. Well, tonight, back at home against the Thunder. Now, I don't know if everyone's active for the Kings tonight. I think Malik Monk still remains out. DeMar DeRozan had missed a few games here and there. He could miss tonight, which obviously would bump up Keegan's role. But again, this is just a good spot for him. Keegan Murray attempts the most catch and shoot three-pointers on the team. The Thunder allowed the 8th most catch and shoot threes in the NBA. They ranked 28th defensively versus spot-up shooters. Again, this is where primarily Keegan Murray scores. The only negative for us here for Keegan Murray is he does tend to score in transition, where the Thunder do rank pretty well defensively. But again, against the spot-up shooters in the half court, I expect Keegan Murray to get some opportunities. And you think about the Thunder, where do they play really well? First defensively versus the pick and roll. So don't expect Fox, who just had a 28.5 points line, went over. Now it's all the way down to 24.5. I would have taken his under today if they put it back to 28.5. But again, they're not that dumb. They obviously know what matchup Fox is coming into. So bad matchup for him. Good matchups for Keegan Murray and the shooters. So we've seen in 7 career games for OKC. I mean, Keegan's been a beast. 18.5 points per game, 13 points in all 7, 15 plus in 5 of 7, 8 field goal attempts in all 7, 10 plus field goal attempts in 6 of 7. So look, if he's getting the field goal attempts up at home, I got to trust him. And if you look at Keegan, he's over this line in 23 of his last 30 games with 10 or more shots. Hopefully he can shoot that many times tonight, get to the free throw line, whatever. I really like his matchup once again. So Keegan Murray, just a 1-unit play on his over 12.5 points. I would still play it for 1 unit at 13.5. I think he's in for a good spot, and I think this is a tight game against the Thunder tonight, especially coming off a loss to the Nets. We can't be having that, Kings. We didn't even light the beam to the dang Nets. Got to be better. Maybe they'll light the beam tonight. Wouldn't shock me. My second play, I'm staying in the same game. I don't normally do 2 plays on one team, but in this case, we're not necessarily counting on 2 guys to score points. We actually need Keegan to score, and hopefully he's coming off of some assists from his teammate, Domantas Sabonis. I'm on 2 plays for him. One is over 18.5 rebounds plus assists. That's a 1-unit play at plus 100 on DraftKings. The other one is just a quarter-unit play. Sabonis to get a triple-double, which is plus 1,000 on Bet365. Now, I wish BetMGM had some alt lines. Sometimes if you go to BetMGM and you do like a SGP where it's 10 reps and 10 assists, they give you better odds than their triple-double. I don't know why, but whatever. That's just how the book works. They just don't post the alt lines until later. But at plus 1,000 for Sabonis, I have to take a stab. Sure, DeMar DeRozan's on the team, and that obviously kind of nukes his assist chances a little bit, but the matchup's too good and the history's too good for me to run away from Sabonis at plus 1,000. I play the triple-double down to about plus 550, plus 600. I really think that should be closer to like plus 400, if I'm being honest. This season, Sabonis is averaging 13 rebounds per game and 6.5 assists per game. So 19.6 rebounds plus assists in general. pretty good. We need an average game for him to go over. He averages 23 rebound chances per game. That's the second most in the NBA, and 10.9 assist chances. He's actually over this line in 9 of 15 games. So not the worst hit rate. I forgot to note, if you're at 19.5, obviously I don't mind that either, but every book was at 18.5 except for FanDuel. But again, over 9 of 15, not too shabby, and this is a great matchup for him at home. The Thunder, in general, allow the 9th most assists per game on the road, and they allow the most rebounds per game in general, which increases on the road too. They're giving up like 61 rebounds per game on the road. I mean, woof, what are we doing there? Now, I have no idea what the Thunder's lineup looks like tonight. Isaiah Hartenstein did return last game, did come off the bench. We'll see if maybe he goes into the starting lineup to match up against Sabonis. Either way, I'm not too concerned about it. I really think Sabonis will be down there to grab some rebounds, whether that's on the defensive side or the offensive side. And really, the main reason I'm here is the matchup. Obviously, I just talked about the assists and the rebounds they give up, but Sabonis has cooked the Thunder. I don't know if it's a revenge game narrative or whatever, but Sabonis over this line in 9 of his last 10 games versus OKC, most of them as a member of the Kings. Look at his totals. His only miss, he ended with 18. But look at the other ones, 22, 23, 23, 23, 25, 26, 28, 33 rebounds plus assists. He's averaged a triple-double against them in his last 10 matchups, and he has 5 triple-doubles in general. I hope you understand why I'm on him to get a triple-double tonight for a quarter unit. And over in rebounds plus assists, he has destroyed this matchup. And while Sabonis only has 3 triple-doubles this season, did have 26 last year. The assist chances are down about 1 to 2 assists per game. But again, in a matchup like this, I could see him approach 14, 15 potential assists. We just need those guys to knock down their shots. I have to take a flyer here. And my ideal dream is Sabonis backing someone down. He's like, oh, Keegan Murray's open. Kick it to him. Splash. That'd be ideal. Probably not going to happen. I guarantee you Keegan Murray does not help us out on some assist chances. But joking aside, I have to play this. I really like the matchup for Sabonis. He's been really good, and this is just too good of a matchup to avoid. So, again, 1 unit on his regular over, just rebounds and assists at 18.5. And then, of course, a quarter unit. So just a slight sprinkle on the triple-double at plus 1,000. Hey, my hands are tied. I gotta back it here. So Sabonis, go get that trip dub for us, or grab 20 rebounds. Either way, we appreciate it. Go do it. And Keegan Murray, I need you to lock it. Those are my 2 favorite picks in that Kings game. I don't normally do 2 picks in one game, but it is what it is. I have 2 more unders. I'll talk about it in just 1 second, but we have a spread pick of the day. I'm throwing to my man Logan. Last time you saw him, Jazz plus 9.5, keep the points. They went outright. Didn't have a pick yesterday because it was a weird Sunday slate. But Logan, I know you got a pick today. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Last time you saw me on here, I picked the Jazz plus the points. Keep the points. They won outright. Today I'm backing another home team that I really like, and it's going to be the Atlanta Hawks -2, -105 odds on Caesars is currently your best value. Now, I do want to say something about this line. I really liked it last night. It has since flipped to the Hawks -2. It was originally the Hawks like +2.5. So the CLV not exactly on our side, but when does CLV actually matter in the NBA? It doesn't. I mean, you're celebrating 2 or 3 points of CLV, and then that team gets blown out by 20. That's how the association works. The Hawks had a couple days of rest since the loss Friday at Chicago, which is big to note because I like this spot for them. They're coming in this game with a significant rest advantage against the Mavs, who are coming off 0 rest in an overtime game last night against the Heat. So again, tired legs, definitely on the Mavs side. The Hawks should be rested. Mavs 3-4 against the spread with the rest disadvantage. The Hawks 2-1 against the spread with the rest advantage. Small trend there for Atlanta and against Dallas already. Again, the season's still sort of young to establish trends like that, but it's worth noting, right? Offensively, the Hawks can do exactly what the Heat did yesterday, and that's put up points, put up 115 plus. They should be able to do that. That we picked the Nuggets Friday against the Mavs. The Mavs could not miss. It was crazy. The Nuggets did come back. They just could not seal that win. The Hawks in this game, I like the matchup offensively because they're 10th in points per game, 3rd in pace, 4th in assists. The pace is kind of really what I want to highlight in there because, again, the Mavs tired legs in this one. If the Hawks want to play fast, especially with the rest advantage, that's what I would do. The Hawks are also finally healthy. And on short rest, I think that we really see the loss of Luka being, big in this one. I like the Hawks a lot as my favorite pick of the day. Again, the Hawks are not a team that a lot of people are running out to ever back because they look sharp and then they're not. You know what? I'm not ready. I don't ban teams. I don't put teams on my ban list. I take breaks from them, and I took a break from the Hawks for a few weeks. but I do like them a lot in this spot as my favorite pick of the day. Let's roll with another spread winner. But Austin, throwing it back to you.
Let's hope the Hawks can come through. I looked at a couple props in that game. I'll give you my prop lean. I actually looked at Kyrie Irving's over in assists. I know that kind of goes against Logan's play, but Kyrie Irving, I think he'll have Dyson Daniels on him. Pretty good defender. And the Hawks have kind of struggled against the three-point line. A lot of catch and shoot threes. So if you need a prop there, I actually was going to take Kyrie Irving 6+ assists, but that was too juiced. But he always gets 6, but never gets 7, which is what his line is. So Kyrie, a prop lean. I'll talk about the ladder in a second. We first need 2 unders. I know, calm down. I know you don't like unders, and you're not going to like this first one. But again, we talked about unders before. Many more ways to cash an under than there are to cash an over. That's just how it works. Let's talk about this first one, the guy in the thumbnail. Nikola Jokic, under 12.5 rebounds, -120 on DraftKings tonight. I'm fading the Joker. Normally, you don't want to do that because the Joker is him. He's him. But I got to fade him tonight. I got to see it to believe it for him to grab 13 boards against my New York Knicks. I'll talk about the ladder, which might include something in this game. We'll talk about that in a second. Jokic this season, if you've been backing his unders, you might be done sports betting because you kind of deserved it. He's averaging 13.9 rebounds per game. He's over this line in 7 of 12. He's had 5 offensive rebounds in 6 of the 7 games that he went over. Obviously, Jokic has the ability to make me look like a straight fool. And when I come on tomorrow, I got to put the little X mark next to Jokic under and rebounds and be like, guys, I'm an idiot. But again, I put the offensive rebounds there for a good reason. That's because this is not a great matchup for him. This season, the Knicks, fewest rebounds per game allowed to centers, and the 3rd fewest offensive rebounds allowed as a team. So if we can limit Jokic on the offensive boards, you're going to rely on him to grab a bunch of defensive rebounds, which I think is going to be tough, given that he's probably tasked with guarding Karl-Anthony Towns. So I don't know what the Knicks rotation looks like today. Sometimes they take out Karl-Anthony Towns for Jericho Sims, like in the 6-minute mark. Hopefully they can keep Cat in there a little bit more so that we can have Cat on the floor for defending Jokic. But either way, I mean, he's going to have to go out there and guard Cat. Cat's going to be on the perimeter or driving. It's not a great spot for Jokic. And we've seen Jokic's last 9 games versus the Knicks. Take these with a grain of salt because it is the Knicks and they obviously have a complete roster overhaul. But he still is under this line at 8 of 9. And the main reason here is only 4 players actually have 13 or more rebounds against the Knicks. So again, I already said, very tough team to get rebounds against, especially centers, because you have to go out there and guard Cat on the perimeter. If not, he's going to be spamming threes. The 4 players that went over this line against the Knicks, I'll talk with them. Alperen Sengun, Jared Allen, Jalen Johnson, and John Collins. I'll knock out 3 of these guys. Sengun, Jalen Johnson, and John Collins, 3 guys, they did not defend Cat. Those guys had Dylan Brooks or Capella or Walker Kessler defend him. The only guy that technically hit this over and defended Cat was Jared Allen, but Jared Allen also plays a lot of minutes with the second unit where Cat is not there and it's just Jericho Sims. So again, you should see Jokic play a lot of minutes that overlap with Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, heck, if Cat plays 36 minutes, I bet you about 31 of them are going to overlap with Nikola Jokic. So I think that's it's a tough spot with Nikola Jokic in there. And I think he's going to have to get a ton of rebounds when Cat is off the floor, which shouldn't be a lot of minutes tonight. We know how Tom Thibodeau rolls. So I like the under here, 12.5 rebounds. I know it's a sketchy one. If it doesn't hit, I probably won't take another Jokic under, but I like that spot. Then my final play of the day, a little bit juicy here. Brandon Miller, the Charlotte Hornets, under 4.5 made threes at -145 on Fanatics. Now, I'd play this up to about -175. I was considering doing a juice reducer type thing with LaMelo to score 20 or more points. We know he's going to shoot a ton tonight, but I didn't want to get too cute with the juice reducer and things like that, so I'll just fade Brandon Miller 3-pointers. Him to make 5 threes. No, we're fading that, under 4.5. Now, Miller so far, his last 3 games, he's actually made 5 threes in 3 straight. He went 5 of 9, 8 of 12, and 6 of 13 versus Brooklyn, Detroit, and Milwaukee. So tip the cap. We appreciate him in his last game against Milwaukee. We had him in an SGP with LaMelo, and he scored 32. Great for him. However, all those matchups were pretty good. Now he gets arguably the worst matchup, and we'll talk about that in a second. But these last 3 games, Miller, 7.7 catch and shoot 3-point attempts. He's made 4.7 of them, 61%. Now, I don't need to tell you anything, but if you've ever taken a math class or watched the NBA, guy shooting 61% from 3, is that sustainable? Absolutely not. But again, those were all pretty good matchups. Today, he gets arguably the worst matchup for him in the Orlando Magic. Now, I consider taking his under points, but these obviously go hand in hand. I think if he makes 5 threes, he's going over in points. And I also think there's a way he can make like 3 or 4 and still get to the line or find another way to somehow score 24 or 25 points. But again, this is a tough matchup. The Magic allow the fewest catch and shoot 3-point attempts, third fewest catch and shoot 3-pointers made in the NBA. Miller just played them earlier in November. 1 for 11 from 3. So obviously I don't want to see 11 shots go up. But again, even if he gets the volume, this is a stingy Magic defense. And sure, you're going to be down Miles Bridges. You're going to be down Trey Mann. He's going to get the volume. I understand that. But just because you get volume does not mean your shots go in. That's not how it works. You got to put the ball in the basket. Coming off the games where he's just been stroking it, I could see him struggling here. This season, only 4 guys have made 5 or more threes against the Magic. Luka, LaMelo Ball, Jared McCain out of nowhere, and LeBron James. We think about what do Luka, LaMelo, and LeBron have in common. Those are all guys that are not really, the Magic are going to allow those guys to shoot a little bit, or they have the ball in their hands and they're able to do step backs and things like that. Brandon Miller is not necessarily the guy that's like, ooh, hezzy pull and hezzy behind the back in between the legs. That's not really his game. He's a lot of catch and shoot options. So I didn't watch the Jared McCain highlights to see how he got 5 against him. But again, it's not easy. Also, you have a low total at 212.5. Magic 5th slowest pace in the NBA. So slower pace spot here. If he makes 5 threes, I tip my cap. It's just a tough matchup for him. I'll fade him at -145 on Fanatics. I'd play it to -175. Like I said, if you want to reduce the juice, I like LaMelo 20+ points. Just not going to get involved there. So those are 5 favorite picks today. I already talked about my prop lean, which is Kyrie Irving's over in points. Let me talk about the ladder, or not over in points, over in assists. Let's talk about the ladder though. I have no idea if I'm going to do it in the NBA or the NFL. I'm going to go look at the NFL, see if there's something that I feel really confident there. If not, we'll go to the NBA. We've done really well in the NBA ones the last few days. I mean, heck, they got us day 4 in the NFL yesterday. Maybe it'll be a combination of both, like we did yesterday. I have no idea. Where will I track it towards the record? Kind of comes down to if it wins or loses, but hey, we'll figure it out then. So I haven't really decided. I really like that Nuggets and Knicks game. That feels like a game that's pretty competitive, although I might wait for some alternate lines there. So stay tuned. We'll see. If it's in the NFL, it's probably going to be posted earlier than later. If it's in the NBA, it'll probably post it later than earlier. That makes sense. But either way, we'll figure it out as the day goes on. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Those are my favorite picks of the day. Let's have a day, and I'll see you guys later on today for the Ladder Challenge Day 5. And if you want to go check out my Ravens and Chargers video before I post that, it is already live right here. Go check it out. That's Austin and Logan, technically. And we'll see you guys back in the next one. Peace.